Welcome to the Arlington Street Church podcast. Founded in 1729, Arlington Street continues today as a gathering place for progressive people of faith in the greater Boston area and beyond. We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.
Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is an historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here. Dearly beloved, how is it with your spirit? I miss you. I love you. I'm so happy we can be here together for worship. I didn't think I could love Sunday mornings more than I did, but I do. Let's start with a shout out to my colleagues, Director of Music, Mark David Buckles, Executive Minister, Reverend Beth Robbins, and the entire Arlington Street Church staff. Thanks to our soprano section leader, Hana Omori, joining us today from Osaka, Japan. And a huge thank you to our extraordinary tech team, Art Nava, Hala Hazar, Kem Moorhead, Richard Brew, and Sandy Dixon, who have much more than stepped up in our hour of need to make it possible for us to worship together while we're apart, doing our part to flatten the curve of COVID-19 transmission and infection. Thanks to all of you who have sent in pictures of yourselves so far. We've printed them out and they're taped to the pews so we can imagine all of us here together, and I won't have to preach to an empty sanctuary. If you haven't already, please send your photo to office@ascboston.org. Even if we've never met or you've never worshiped here in person, we would love to see your beautiful faces. Thank you. And here's our beloved Reverend Beth with a few technical details.
Good morning, my friends. It's so wonderful to be here with you. If you need tech support during this service, our amazing tech team is standing by to help. You can reach out through the chat here on Zoom, post on Arlington Street's Facebook page, or email outreach@ascboston.org. If you haven't already downloaded today's order of service, there is a link to it in the chat, and it's also on the homepage at ascboston.org. All of the hymn lyrics are included in the order of service, so we can sing together even as we are apart. Let's talk for a minute about your view here in Zoom. You have options. My suggestion is to use the speaker view, which will highlight the person currently speaking or singing. To find your view options, click on the top right of your screen or swipe your phone screen, and that should bring up your options for view. If you want to pan the congregation and see who's worshiping with us here this morning, you can switch to the view that's called gallery. So if you have a candle and matches nearby, in a moment we can light the chalice together. To help us remember that despite the screens, we are at worship and not at work, you may want to make your Zoom window full screen and to find a spot to rest your hands that is not the keyboard. And now, let's continue our virtual greetings. Please say hello in the chat if you haven't already. If you haven't found the chat box yet, touch the bottom of your screen or move your mouse. If you're on a phone, that should bring up a menu at the bottom. You can tap on the word More and then Chat. If you're watching from a computer, move your mouse a bit and the series of options should appear at the bottom. And again, you'll just click on the one that says Chat. So let's say hello now and engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends social distance as we greet one another heart to heart. Let's arrive for worship now with a deep breath together. Are you ready? As I light our chalice, symbol of our free faith, and you light your individual candles, we hold in our hearts the world of people who are being affected by this virulent pandemic. Those who are anxious and afraid, those who are sick, those who have lost loved ones, and all of those working in healthcare. Across the centuries, we are assured by the words attributed to Julian of Norwich, all will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. Our chalice lighting words today are from Rabbi Yosef Kanevsky. The very last thing we need right now is a mindset of mutual distancing. We actually need to be thinking the opposite way. Every hand that we don't shake must become a phone call that we place. Every embrace we avoid must become a verbal expression of warmth and concern. Every inch and every foot that we physically place between ourselves and another must become a thought as to how we might help that other should the need arise. Let's stay safe and let's draw one another closer in a way that we've never done before. And now let's sing together. Mark David is going to lead us in Peace Like a River.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see all your faces over Zoom. I'm coming to you live from my living room right here. And we're going to sing Peace Like a River. The lyrics are posted in the chat and in the order of service, and I'll also call them out as we go along. The first verse is, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like ocean. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. Love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. Tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. Strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. Peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. And now, live from Osaka, Japan, our own Hana Omori will sing us Sanctuary.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I be honoring sanctuary for you.
It is now time for our treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. If you have a candle you'd like to share this morning, I invite you to type it into the chat. In addition to sharing our candles this morning, let's also reach out to one another in the week ahead, sharing the sorrows and joys of our lives as we stay connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Despite having to be apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service.
sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'd be your living sanctuary for you.
Some of us come today with heavy hearts. We open our hearts to you.
From Harriet Ranvig, for her son and family in Hungary, including her son's stepfather, Carl. A candle of sorrow at the death of country music great Kenny Rogers. Thank you, Kenny, for leaving us with an ace. Presente. Our final candle of sorrow is from Michael Fisher, who writes, a candle of great sorrow for my coworker, Josh Walwork, who passed away from complications resulting from COVID-19 this past week. Thank you for keeping his family and friends in your thoughts as we mourn his tragic death.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I be your living sanctuary for you.
And some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
A candle of joy from Alma and Gail, who say, we are very grateful to Caitlin Patton, who is generously doing our weekly food shopping, braving the supermarket crowd, and then delivering our groceries to the porch steps. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for helping us stay safe and healthy. A candle of joy from Tina Rose for her grandson, Miko, who took his very first steps a few weeks ago. His parents and grandee are ecstatic. He will be running and playing soccer very soon. From Laura P. and Laura C. We lit a candle of concern on March 15th for our friend Joanna's kidney cancer surgery at the Brigham, and for her wife Linda, who couldn't be at the hospital with her. Joanna's surgery was successful, and today we heard positive news about her pathology report. May the good news continue. Our final candle of joy is from Allie Jablonski, who says, yesterday I had my interview with the Ministerial Fellowship Committee and passed. My journey towards ordination has been challenging at times, but ASC has always been a shelter and a home. Thank you for all the ways you taught and affirmed and held me along the way. I cannot wait to complete my ordination journey in the place where I've experienced the very best of our denomination. Big congratulations and lots of love, Allie.
Sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'd be your living sanctuary for you. Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. be a living sanctuary for you.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, and for the world. Amen.
Will you join with me now in saying the affirmation and covenant of Arlington Street Church? The words are printed in your order of service and begin with the word love. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos, convivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Let's sing together again now. Mark David is going to lead us in Breathe In, Breathe Out.
It's really simple. You can just sing breathe in, breathe out over and over again. And if you want, you can sing with me, when I breathe in peace. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. Feel free to add your own harmony part as we go along. And I invite you to just really focus on your breath. Really focus on being where we are now, trying to feel that peace and that love in your heart and in your breath. So let's start together. Just breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And again. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Long before the COVID-19 pandemic, Americans were experiencing an epidemic of loneliness. A Kaiser Family Foundation survey revealed that 22% of people in the United States are lonely, or were lonely before we were all told that in order to save our lives, we had to stay away from each other. Suddenly, all of us are alone or crammed into small family groups, which for some is proving even more isolating. I want to offer two reflections. Here are the headlines. First, unlike the 1918 flu pandemic, when there was no way to be in touch with each other, we have virtual access to each other and ways to be with each other as never before. And second, this is a time to deepen our spiritual practice, not only to manage the feelings that arise with isolation, but also to deepen our experience of being together in a whole new way. Over the past 2 weeks, hundreds and hundreds of people have attended our live-streamed worship services. Our Wednesday virtual tea parties, joyfully hosted by Reverend Beth and me, were both lively and intimate. When was the last time we took a break at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon to sit down for tea with friends and the not yet befriended? I'll admit I was astounded. Social distancing from you goes against every fiber of my being. Throughout my ministry, when I've said we need one another, it came with the image in my mind's eye of all of us gathered in our sanctuary. Overnight, all that changed. Now when I say we need one another, I'm picturing you announcing yourselves as you appear on the Zoom platform, your beautiful faces appearing in little Hollywood squares. My heart. So now it's time to be curious. Instead of assuming that loneliness is just a part of this new everyday life, and especially that these times seem to point to a conclusion of separation and isolation, let's look again. In yet another plot twist in this astonishing story we're living right now, there are more choices to be connected than ever before. Now what takes us away from connection is too much stimulation, especially too much attention on the media, and deprioritizing relationships. When we understand that, we can make a different choice. When we open our computers to check the news, instead we can check in with friends and share how we're faring. And as always, helping someone else changes everything. Please know that every time we show up for worship or a virtual gathering or class helps strengthen our beloved spiritual community, reminding us that although we are apart, we are not alone. Many of us are swirling with difficult emotions now: anxiety, fear, anger, grief. But over and over in my own life, I have been reminded that hardship and suffering are the primary catalysts for change for the good. If we dedicate ourselves to working with our difficult emotions, we can be a part of that change, part of that good. Here is American author and Zen priest Norman Fisher reflecting on the time following the unexpected death of his best friend, Rabbi Alan Liu. All too many of us in times like these just don't have the heart to do spiritual practice. But these are the best times for practice because motivation is so clear. Practice is not simply a lifestyle choice or a refinement. There is no choice. It's a matter of survival. The tremendous benefit of simple meditation practice is most salient in these moments. Having exhausted all avenues of activity that might change our outward circumstances and given up on other means of finding inner relief for our raging or sinking mind, there is nothing better to do than to sit down and just be present with our situation. As you listen to these next two paragraphs, as Norman Fisher directs us in a brief guided meditation, I invite us to sit and share a moment of this practice together. Let's sit in reflection, meditation, and prayer. Find your breath and let's breathe together. Norman Fisher writes, there you sit, feeling your body. You notice you are breathing. You also notice that troubling thoughts and feelings are present in the mind. You are not sitting here to make them go away or to cover them up with pleasant and encouraging spiritual slogans. There they are, all your demons, your repetitive negative themes. Your mind is, to borrow a phrase from poet Michael Palmer, a museum of negativity. And you are sitting there quietly, breathing inside that museum, breathing in, breathing out. There is nothing else to do. You can't fix anything. The situation is beyond that. Gradually, it dawns on you that these dark thoughts and anxious feelings are just that. Thinking, feeling. They are exhibits in the museum of negativity, but not necessarily realities of the outside world. This simple insight that thoughts and feelings are just thoughts and feelings is slight, but it makes a difference. You continue to sit, continue to pay attention to your breath, and you label everything else thinking, feeling, thinking, feeling, breathing in and breathing out. Eventually, you're able to pick up your coat from the coat check and walk out of the museum into the sunlight. Let's walk together. There's so many kinds of spiritual practice. This is a wonderful time to choose one for starters and go deep. Perhaps you want to enter more deeply into this time of unexpected solitude and silence. Perhaps you want to balance this sudden full stop in some activities with starting others. It is already proving to be a time of tremendous improvisation and innovation. Perhaps you want to make your practice a devotion to making connections. Whatever you choose, know that we are all together encouraging one another, uplifting and upholding one another, and strengthening the bonds of our beloved spiritual community. Know that I am holding each of you in my heart. You are not alone. This is an excerpt from Letter to a Young Activist During Troubled Times. Some beautiful encouragement from American author and Jungian analyst, Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. She writes, Mis amigos, dear ones, do not lose heart. We were made for these times. I have heard from so many recently who are deeply and properly bewildered. They are concerned about the state of affairs in our world. Ours is a time of almost daily astonishment and often righteous rage over the latest degradations of what matters most to civilized, visionary people. You are right in your assessments. The luster and hubris some have aspired to whole endorsing acts so heinous against children, elders, everyday people, the poor, the unguarded, the helpless, is breathtaking. Yet I urge you, ask you, gentle you, to please not spend your spirit dry by bewailing these difficult times. Especially, do not lose hope. Most particularly because we were made for these times, yes. For years we have been learning, practicing, been in training for, and just waiting to meet on this exact plane of engagement. Clarissa Pinkola Estes continues, I grew up on the Great Lakes and recognize a seaworthy vessel when I see one. Regarding awakened souls, there have never been more able crafts in the waters than there are right now across the world. And they are fully provisioned and able to signal one another as never before in the history of humankind. You are not alone. We are needed. That is all we can know. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend that part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world, will help. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can take to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matter to catch fire. To display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy toward others is an act of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. Clarissa Pinkola Estes concludes, there will always be times when you feel discouraged. I too have felt despair many times in my life, but I do not keep a chair for it. I will not entertain it. It is not allowed to eat from my plate. Remember, when a great ship is in harbor and moored, it is safe. But that is not what great ships are built for. Beloved spiritual companions, let us not be lonely. The opportunities for connection are myriad. Every time we show up strengthens our beloved community. Let us be together, though apart. May we intervene now in this stormy world, deepening our practice of awakening and show our souls. May they shine like gold. May we throw sparks, send up flares, build signal fires, and so kindle the flame in other souls. We were made for these times. You are not alone. I love you. Amen.
If you're lost and you're lonely, go and figure out why. Take a trip to your dark side. Go on and have a good cry. 'Cause we're all lonely. We're all lonely together. I want to see your sadness. I want to see your pain. I want to be your blood and I want to be let in. Don't we all just want to be together? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? If your face is down, take a look around. Do your fingers move? Do your lungs inflate? Are you tired? Are you weary of the hidden hate you've been holding? Hey, did you lose that love or have you never had it? Are you feeling sad 'cause you did a bad thing? Hey, leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? it with love that's healing? Are you feeling fearful, darling? Are you feeling fearful, family? Leave what's heavy behind. Leave what's heavy behind. Leave what's heavy behind.
Friends, generosity is always a spiritual practice at Arlington Street Church. These are extraordinary times that call for extraordinary generosity. The seventh principle of Unitarian Universalism celebrates the interdependent web of life. We know that now in a way we never have before, both in a whole new understanding of what it means for a pernicious infection to go viral and what it means for kindness to go viral. In just a few short weeks, since we were told we couldn't touch each other, we've invented new ways of staying connected and being close. Taking a page from the Italians, my neighbors on Beacon Street are leaning out the window each evening, singing Sweet Caroline to each other, a kind of promise and assurance that the Red Sox will play again. On the Cape, where Reverend Kim and Kem live, neighbors have donated more than $20,000 to feed elders and those who have lost their jobs. Meals are prepared by volunteers every morning and then delivered by volunteer ring and run drivers. And on Friday night, Reverend Kim's friends, Abby and Emil, who are in medical residencies at New York Presbyterian and Mount Sinai hospitals, were cheered as they left work. People opened their windows, clapped, cheered, and banged pots in appreciation for these heroes at the front line. Each of us has the power to make a difference in these difficult days, to do our part to strengthen the safety net that holds and upholds us all. Your generous enthusiasm and support for everything Arlington Street is doing right now to keep us all connected, strong, and upheld is deeply appreciated. Thank you for never ceasing to amaze us. Please take a moment now to fill our virtual collection plate. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 617-300-0509, scan the QR code in the order of service, or click the yellow Donate button on the bottom right of the homepage at ascboston.org. Here's that number again, 617-300-0509. Thank you for your generosity. And during this morning's offertory, as you make your gift to sustain our beloved community, let's continue to share in the chat what inspires you during these difficult days. We've got lots of great events happening in the Arlington Street Zoom room this week. On Monday at 5, we're sharing some of our favorite poems. Tuesday at 5 is the Pet Parade, a gathering dedicated to gushing over our furry, feathered, and scaly members of our beloved spiritual community. On Wednesday, Reverend Kim and I will be hosting tea again at 4 o'clock, which will be followed by a mini concert by composer and guitarist Claudio Ragazzi. We are working with our beloved friends at Agora to host a regular series of artist events. Elsa and Beba have outdone themselves this week. Claudio Ragazzi, who is renowned for winning Grammys and Emmys and composing the scores to some of our favorite movies, will be playing live for us in the Arlington Street Zoom room. Don't miss it. Details on all of our upcoming events can be found on the ASC Boston homepage. I'm guessing that many of you, like me, had amazing outfits in the works for our superhero-themed Indulge Gala this year. Sadly, we need to tuck those in the back of the closet for now, as we adapt to our new virtual reality. The good news is that our intrepid Indulge team has been hard at work reinventing this fundraiser that is so critical to our church budget. While we are being at-home heroes, the auction is moving to an online format and will run through the month of April. Keep an eye out for an email this week about donation opportunities and access to the online auction. Meanwhile, let's be superheroes by continuing to purchase tickets for the event through the Eventbrite link on the ASC Boston homepage. Ticket revenue is essential to the success of the fundraiser. The team is hoping to host a celebratory gala in May if possible, and we'll be delighted to honor your tickets then. Before I turn it over to Mark David for our closing hymn, a final thank you to all of you who joined for virtual worship from Arlington Street Church, and again, to all of those who have made it possible. Let's be together like this throughout the week, and again next Sunday morning at 11. We're in this together. I love you.
So our closing hymn is called Why Worry? Always appropriate, but perhaps even more appropriate at the moment. And if you don't know it, I'm going to kind of teach it to you a little bit. I'll sing a line twice, and the second time you sing it along with me if you don't already know it. So it goes like this. Why worry when you can sing? Once more together. Why worry when you can sing? Why worry when you can sing? And again, why worry when you can sing? Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing for us and for others together. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing for us and for others. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing 'cause it will be beautiful. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can sing? So that's the whole form, and then we'll replace the word sing with a few other words as we go, which I'll call out. So let's try that all together. Why worry? Why worry when you can sing? Why worry when you can sing? Sing 'cause we can't. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing for us and for others. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can sing? Why worry when you can give? Why worry when you can give? Why worry when you can give? Give 'cause we can't know. Give for us and for others. Give 'cause we can't know. Give 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can give? When you can share? Why worry when you can share? Why worry when you can share? Share 'cause we can't know. Share for us and for others. Share 'cause we can't know. Share 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can share? Now you've got room to kind of move in your seat a little bit for this next one. It's nice. Why worry when you can dance? Why worry when you can dance? Why worry when you can dance? Dance 'cause we can't know. Dance for us and for others. Dance 'cause we can't know. Dance 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can dance? You can keep dancing the rest of the song if you want to. Why worry when you can build? Why worry when you can build? Why worry when you can build? Build 'cause we can't know. Build for us and for others. Build 'cause we can't know. Build 'cause it will be can't know. Love for us and for others. Love 'cause we can't know. Love 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can love and when you can sing? Why worry when you can sing? Why worry when you can sing? Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing for us and for others. Sing 'cause we can't know. Sing 'cause it will be beautiful. Why worry when you can sing? Just that last line again. Why worry when you can sing? And one last time. Why worry when you can sing?
For a benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart in Namaste. I bow to the divine in you. These words are adapted from Clarissa Pinkola Estes. One of the most calming and powerful actions we can take to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show our souls. Souls shine like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, sends up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matter to catch fire. Remember, we were made for this time. Do not lose heart. You are not alone. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I love you. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people.
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.